All right, welcome back. Welcome back. This is the final unit. This is the last one of your freshman year. So, you will have World One and World Two done. You will be moving on to your next year when you are sophomores to your next, whether that's AP Euro, which you'll get a lot more in depth on World War One stuff. You'll move into AP Human Geography, or you'll go into World Three. Where you'll pick up right after World War One. But let's start with the main causes of World War One. What led up to it? Like why did it be like why was it World War? Like what happened? So we need to figure out the causes. And there are four main causes. Um, and they are militarism. So the M in Maine, not like Maine the state or Maine the band, but like the main reason, right? Military power. Essentially, they're building up an arms race, not like getting swole like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but like an arms is in like military arms. Your ammunition, your weapons, that type of thing. So that's the first one. That's the M in Maine. The A is alliances. So basically, you like right now we have like the U.S. has alliances with other countries, and it's like, yo, you got my back, I got your back. So over there, it's like the Austro-Hungarians are like alliance, like they have an alliance with Prussia, right? They're like, yo, so if it hits the fan right, you got our back. Like yeah, das ist stimmt. And they're like, okay, cool, cool, cool. And then they talk into someone else. And so basically, you have all these intertwined alliances that become problematic because once it does hit the fan, something does happen, you got to call on your alliances. And then they call on their alliance, you call on your alliance, and then you're the person that you're talking to, they call on theirs. And so it becomes problematic, right? It's a domino effect. Your next one, your eyes imperialism. So we go. They're not just fighting for control of Europe; they're fighting for control of everything else. And from the last few units, where we talked about nationalism, one guess as to what the end is, but we're talking about imperialism and nationalism, and why is imperialism important to the European countries? Well, it's for everything that's building into this, right? So we're talking about one of the reasons. Well, they're trying to basically gain control over of other places in Africa, in Asia, in the Americas, right? They're trying to gain more control, more land, more power, and this is playing a huge part. And then, of course, nationalism. You believe that the place, like your nation, has supremacy over others, or you believe that your people, your nation, should be autonomous, right? Should not have to be controlled by a higher power being or a more powerful other country that's stepping in. Okay, so those are your big ones. So again, we'll go back so y'all can see it. Militarism, alliances, imperialism, nationalism. So think main reasons, and it kind of all stems from that. So Otto von Bismarck. Okay, so he used war to unite Germany, and this is more like Prussia, like not current day Germany. So he wanted to make a larger empire and maintain peace, and he saw France as the largest threat to this to Germany. For a few reasons, right? We talked about a couple weeks ago, Napoleon, and he was problematic to Europe and the peace in Europe. Um, but he saw France as a threat because it's not just historically, but also proximity. So when you look at it, they're right next to each other, right? Larger countries with lots of power next to each other, so it's a threat, right? He sees it as such. So he decided to try to isolate them. And how he's going to do that is by making alliances with other countries. And so he first starts in 1879, with an alliance with Austro-Hungary. So the Austria-Hungarian Empire, and Austrians are similar with Germans, right? They speak similar language. They have a similar culture, so it makes sense for them to make an alliance. Additionally, if you make an alliance with someone you're right next to, you don't have to worry about that as a front, right? A war front. So this little cartoon down here is in German, and Schulter on Schulter means like shoulder to shoulder, and then Unterbar verringt is like it's like it's like unwavering support, and then in Freund, it's like friend, und in Lied, it's like suffering. So like they're basically saying like shoulder to shoulder, we have unwavering support in friendship and in suffering. So it's basically this this little thing here is basically saying like we are together through thick and thin. We got each other's backs. Don't stress. We are there for each other. Is essentially what it means. And later on, Italy joined, and it was the Triple Alliance. Okay, I don't want to spoil anything, but Italy is not exactly the firmest of allies here. Um, so from here, Germany's continuing to make alliances. Right, they're looking at this like if we think France is the worst one, like we think like they're the biggest threat, we gotta check off all the boxes. Countries around us, right? So Germany's here. So Austria-Hungary, all right, we tight with them. We have this one. Italy's down here. Okay, they're going to join later. And then Russia's over here, right? So if Germany or Prussia, right, can basically make it so everyone around them except for France is an ally, they only have to focus one direction, worst case scenario. So they're making an alliance with Russia. Okay. So here we go. All them looking I don't know, is Fleek still a thing? They looking Fleek? Or they looking dope? They got big drip here. Right, all them with their medals, like this dude's has got like 500 medals in the front. Dude's probably yoked, holding up all the medals. But they doing all that, and then Kaiser Wilhelm with the sweet stash, going it's like a Batman kind of thing, but upside down, right? And he's the new ruler of Germany, and he was like, oh, I gotta show them how yoked we are. And he basically, so this dude forced von Bismarck to resign. He wanted to show how strong Germany was. He was like, yo, I'm so proud of our army. We so good. We so awesome at everything. Look at us. And his actions aren't great. Sorry about the lack of. I was anyway. Sorry about that. But he let the treaty lapse. Not smart, yo. Not smart because then Russia formed an alliance with France. So now instead of having Germany here and having an alliance here and being kind of safe from three different fronts and just having France to worry about, now by letting this one lapse, now France and them are in an alliance. So now you have two fronts potentially if it becomes a war. Which again, I don't want to cause any like foreshadowing things, but yeah, it's not good. On the German side, they have to focus on Eastern and Western Front, which is the same thing kind of happened in World War II. So the Triple Entente in 1907, Britain allied with France and Russia. And again, this is kind of weird because like up to this point, like France and Britain never really on the same side. Like they never really on the same. Like they're always duking it out with each other. But now you have these. Now you have two alliances with big powers, like lots of capital to throw at it, lots of industrial, like they're all industrialized countries with lots of like factories and technology, and so you have the Triple Alliance and the Triple Entente. So this is going to be problematic, and you'll see that. So this is 1907, so in less than 10 years. So if nothing happens, if there's no spark, we can just go about our days. You know, having alliances, not really enacting them. But this is the part. So Austro-Hungarian Franz Ferdinand, so Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophie are assassinated. So what happened was my boy Franz Ferdinand, not to be confused with the band, though there's a band in that called Franz Ferdinand, but I digress. So my boy goes down with his wife on a goodwill mission to Sarajevo, which is in Bosnia today. I think yeah, Bosnia today. But so they go down there on a goodwill mission, looking at all the stuff that they have down there, and a Serbian national. I just had his name. Um, I keep forgetting his name. Oh, Gavrilo Pritzep. So my dude is a Serbian national. He's 19 years old. He's a Serbian national. He's like, I don't think we should be controlled by the Austrians. I don't get it. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. So he's the one who does it. And I'm going to take some time to tell you it was kind of a botched assassination attempt that ended up falling right into his lap. So Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sofia are driving around, and a different Serbian national threw like basically an explosive device at them, and it missed. It blew up the car behind them, and then this dude's like, I failed. I didn't do it, and he kind of runs away, and then it's just on the way out, Franz Ferdinand's like driver takes a wrong turn and happens to stop literally right next to where this dude Prizep is just happens to be, and he pulls out his gun and shoots Franz Ferdinand, shoots him twice, but he misses one of them and kills his wife and him. So it was just sheer dumb luck that this happened. So just random occurrence of taking the wrong turn, stopping right next to this dude. Okay, and as a result, Austrians are pissed. Okay, they're like, y'all, why the hell did y'all do that? And Serbia, and they wanted to make this big old, huge punishment on Serbia, and Serbia's like, no. Okay, and again, I'm kind of like glossing this over a little bit because there's a lot more that goes into this, but this is what you need to know. And so Austria's pissed. They declare war on Serbia, and Russia's getting involved. Well, why is Russia getting involved? Well, they're an ally. So you have Austria declares war on Serbia because Serbia kills Archduke. Now you have Serbia calling in Russia because we're like, hey, we're an ally. So now they're getting involved. Well, now Austria's calling in Italy and Germany. Well, Russia's also teamed up with France and Britain. So you see how it's starting to spiral out of control. Okay, so unfortunately, they can't solve this problem, right? Austria's mad at Serbia because they killed Archduke. Well, Serbia was mad at Austria. They're like, you shouldn't be here in the first place because we believe we should nationalism, right? We should have control over what we do. So one thing leads to another, and everyone be getting involved. Okay. Make sure it's right. All right, cool. So yeah, I've already said that basically Germany is going to defend Austria because they have an alliance, and Germany decides to back them up, right? Russia, right here. So we're talking about Russia expected that if they defended Serbia, Germany would defend Austria. That makes perfect sense. So what they did is they basically moved troops to their front. So they move it to their front. So Germany's here, and they're moving troops. And Germany is going, yo, what y'all doing? We see this as an act of war, right? You're moving all your troops to the front, so we're declaring war on you. And yeah, here's my meme, right? Yeah, I think y'all guys will appreciate this. Um, so then Germany's like, didn't even want to wait to see if France is going to defend Russia, right? They didn't want to see like, are you going to back up your end of the bargain? So they were just like, yo, let's just declare war on France too while we're at it. Make it easy on ourselves. Just declare war on everyone. So now France is in the war, and of course, Great Britain's like, we don't want to be left out. And this is where this meme comes, right? So this dude, this is Pritzep, he's like, I just killed him. And all the countries are now duking it out, right? So you can see like the USA takes a little while to get involved in the war, But all these countries are now fighting it out on one side or the other. The Ottoman Empire is going to get involved, like where Turkey's at right nowadays. We've talked about that in I think it was Unit 3, maybe it was Unit 4. I don't remember what unit it was. But when we talked about empires, right? So they're getting involved, Serbia's getting involved, like all these countries in Europe are getting involved. And it's not just made it into my video. So
Sorry.
all these countries are getting involved. It's not just in Europe, right? Because they have land all over the world. So this is why World War, right? So here you go. So your Central Powers, your the Triple Alliance, Germany, Austria-Hungary. You have at some point the Ottomans jump in, and then you have the Allied powers: Great Britain, France, Russia, your typical powers, and then Japan joins, and Italy's like was originally on this side, and they're like, we're gonna move over to that side, and they did that because they wanted Triol. And if you don't know what Triol is, it's Tryol. I can pause the video right here and look it up on the interwebs, and you'll see that it's now under Italy's control. But it originally was Austrian. You go there, they speak German. That's another topic for another day. But Italy leaves because they want a little bit more land, and they see it as an opportunity to flip on Austria and get the land from them. And that's why it's now under Italy instead of Austria. Anyway, that's again for another day. So late summer, they're like, it's gonna be over by Christmas. It's gonna be a couple months. We're gonna duke it out. We're gonna figure it out. Yeah. They were expecting this short war, but again, memes. Look at that. That determines it was a lie, right? It wasn't a 4-month endeavor. It was years and millions of lives, and we will talk more about that in the next few videos that are coming out, like why it took so long, like what made this different, what happened that they thought it was gonna only be a few months and it ended up being multiple years and millions of lives and billions of dollars. Like what happened? So again, they thought it was gonna be, but nah, not happening. So all right, so that's your first causes and kind of what led into it. If you do have any questions, you just gotta let me know. You have my email. Lots of y'all have been sending me emails like, hey, I'm not certain, or I need a little extra help. Continue to do that. That way I can make sure you know exactly what's expected. And with that, Hakes is